Clipper Nation, welcome to this week's episode of Full Clip, Clippers Unleashed, where you know you're going to get all of the Clipper content that you want and need from yours truly, Michael Matthew. And of course, I'm never alone. I got my guy Beef here. What's up, Beef?
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? I know you feeling good, just like the rest of Clipper Nation. 2-1, not bad on that road trip, especially after you lose Westbrook, and then they didn't look too great to start off, but then they were able to finish strong. What's your thoughts? The last time we saw the Clippers, 122-116, they were able to defeat the Rockets. It was tough, but they picked up that victory.
I wouldn't say I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all right. Because the Clippers that did blow a lead. They still went 3-0 on that road trip. But I can't really harp on that too much. But I did see good play out of one person only, Bones Highland.
Okay.
Even though his role is very...
That's your guy, man.
That's my guy. I'm telling you, I believe in the young people. But Bones Highland had 13 minutes in that Rockets game. He played a pivotal role in the backup point guard spot. Didn't do too much, didn't do too little, but when he started getting freaky in America, what I mean by freaky, right, is when he started to put the ball in the basket, which is a slow right, because he hasn't played in a very long time. Mm-hmm. But that basket's going to start looking very big to Bones. And when it start looking big, he's going to start filling it up with that second unit.
Yeah.
But just something, I'm not nitpicking, but something that's driving me crazy, there's too many goddamn jump shots.
Okay.
Too
much settling, yeah.
Too much settling. The reason why they won the game against Minnesota and the reason why they won the game against the Rockets is driving to the rim.
I agree.
And if you look at the Milwaukee game, we was winning, we was driving to the rim, shots was falling. When all 10 minutes of Milwaukee in the bonus,
yeah,
not one person went to the rim.
No, I agree.
They got jump shot happy, and again, that doesn't fall on players, except for one player. I'm just going to tell you right now, Paul George, because when his jumper's not falling, he needs to go to the rim.
I think that we've said it
multiple times.
Multiple. A lot of this is going to fall on Paul George because Kawhi has looked like Kawhi. The man scored 28 versus the Rockets. He's been making some big-time shots, and he's looking like that player. Now, I'm so happy to see him healthy because we haven't seen a healthy Kawhi in a long time. Every time he plays in the playoffs, he gets hurt. We don't see Kawhi. Yep. Last time I think he was partially healthy. He won a championship with the Raptors because I ain't going to count the bubble. But, Kawhi is looking amazing. But it comes down to Paul George. And like you're saying, it seems like he's settling. 7 for 15 this last game, which isn't terrible. But when you saw some possessions, we're like, man, go to the rim, go to the rim. What hurts him is that Zubac isn't fully healthy yet. He only played 15 minutes.
Well, that's not too much about Zubac because Zoo is
he's a double guy.
He is a double guy, but yeah. I got Plum Dog and Tice. I got a hard nose type of center, and then I got a finesse center. So I'm not too much worried about that because there's gonna be some games where we gotta stretch it out, and that's when Tice comes in. But my whole thing is with Paul George, and I focus on Paul George a lot, and the reason being is this, right? Mm-hmm. When that jump shot is not falling, when you can only put up 2 points in the first half, and you talking about his rhythm and all, you being too passive. Be aggressive. Yeah. Don't be passive aggressive. Be aggressive. It's multiple times where I see him go tween. He has the first step to burst past him. He pulls it back and take a jump shot. But just go.
That's his game. Like Kyan Anthony says that's his GOAT. And I think a lot of people like to see the dribble, step back from Paul George. But make it simple.
But again, I just had an argument with somebody via Twitterland on Clip.
Okay, shout out Twitterland.
Yeah, but on Twitterland, someone said, man, why PG just won't go to the hole? And this goes back to what I've been saying to everybody that try to jump on, why you want the old PG back? The old PG before the injury was one person, when his jump shot wasn't falling, he was trying to dunk on you. Yeah. Or he was going to the rim just to get 3 that, from the previous 3 shot he didn't make. So that's the PG that has to be effective. It was actually one play in the Houston Rockets game. He pump fake, came off the 3, went to the hole, got to the line. That's the PG we need because if you notice that the jumper's not falling, he has enough burst in his body still, being an older vet, to get to the... He's so smooth. He's so smooth with getting to the rim. With the tween, you can pull it back and go right back again. And before you know it, they stumbling trying to stop you.
He is an all-star guy. And I see the same thing with Clipper Nation there on Twitter, that, they're trying to give him a slight bit of pass. They don't have a time for a pass because the Clippers have to win a championship sometime soon, or they're going to have to break this thing up. So it's on Paul George. You've been there. I just realized that, man, they've been together for a while. I saw something in the 2019-2020 season like, damn, they really have played there that long. And a lot of it is going to be on him, especially we just said Kawhi is looking like Kawhi. James Harden put in 20, had his assists, doing what he's doing. Norman Powell may be the favorite to be the sixth man of the year. But if you win a championship, there's no excuses. You got to get past Denver. You got to get past Minnesota, who they have the cat injury. But if he can come back healthy, they've been the best team in the West most of the season. OKC has played great basketball. Then you got teams like the Warriors and Lakers that we all know, if things go right, can make a run. So you don't have time to have excuses. And for a guy like Paul George, maybe stop doing the show, damn it, and focus more on basketball.
Definitely no excuses, but then you also got to boil it down to the science, right? When we get to this time of the season, it really boils down to schedule. We know Golden State Warriors have a light schedule coming up. We know the Clippers don't. So, but even though the Clippers is tough, even though the Clippers are sitting in the 4th seat, you got to lose 5 games to fall to number 5. Because that's the next person sitting in the seat is New Orleans Pelicans. But outside of that, you can easily move your way back to number 1 if you put a good amount of wins together. If they would have beaten Milwaukee and won these 3 games on the road, they would literally be sitting in the number 3 driving seat right now.
And that loss is so tough because you get I'm thinking to myself, oh no, Giannis, it's a wrap. They're about to pick up this victory. They're gonna do their thing. They let one man, Dame, go crazy on them, and sometimes
it wasn't Dame.
Who was it?
Bobby Portis.
Oh, that guy too. Yeah,
somebody that you don't really think about.
Bobby too. Yeah.
Bobby put hands and feet on the Clippers and wouldn't let up. And it's just silly games like that, right? I told you, play silly games, win silly rewards, right?
Prizes,
and this is what I keep saying with the Clippers. But all things behind, we got a few games coming up this weekend that's going to be very intense in regards to it. Just the reason why it's going to be intense because it's in the afternoon. You know how the afternoon things be.
How he treats them.
But we'll talk about that later. But I'm happy that we finished the road trip.
2-1,
2-1. And going into this weekend, we could turn it up again. And
that's what it's going to be about, Clipper Nation. The Clippers are going to be at home this weekend. They got a couple games before our next show. But we're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk about Russ, his first 3 games out with his injury. We're going to talk about the time that he could be coming back. Because, you know, we got you covered here. Everything you need, Clipper Nation, we got you. Michael, Beef, hey, we got more after the break.
Hey everyone, I'm Neko Gumike with the LA Sparks, and you are watching Infinity Television.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chanel Gwimike, and you're watching Infinity Television. Boom.
Shout out Infinity Television. This is Juju Watkins. See y'all.
Welcome back, baby. Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. Once again, I am Michael Matthew, and we just told you how the Clippers took care of business. They went 2-1 on their road trip, and they did it without one of their key guys off the bench, future Hall of Famer Russell Westbrook. So, Beef, you know we got to talk about it. How do you think the Clippers looked without Russ these first 3 games? Did you like what you saw from the bench unit? You talked about Highland prior. Did you like what you saw, and what are they missing without having Russell with this unit?
Well, of course, with Russ, you already know how he plays. He plays at one speed. So you're missing that lightning speed. You know, you're missing that defensive paralysis, I would also say. But with Bones Highland, right, you kind of get a different, more scoring attribute out of the backup point guard role. So if you think about it, I got Norman Powell going off. I might have Bones going off in the second unit. That's a combination. If they put up 10 each or 20 each, that's 30 points in my second unit alone from them too. But, you know, one thing that Russ can always provide, even though he's necessary having to travel with the team, is that leadership. Still being in the ear, because a leader doesn't always have to be seen. It doesn't always have to be on the floor. But that's what Russ is. He's been that leader the whole time being with the Clippers. So that's what I still expect from Russ, even though he's not playing.
And, you know, Russ, we got word that, you know, Russ is going to be back, hopefully, before the playoffs start. We're lucky that, you know, the team, he got his injury in his non-shooting hand. So he should be good to go. So that's a good sign for the team. So it's good. Ty Lue talked about it at one point, how, hey, I want to see more of my bench guys so that they can be ready if they're needed come the playoffs. And it's crazy that this happens to Russ. It sucks. But now you get to see a Bones Highland. And another thing that we're seeing with the Clippers is that coach is like, hey, my big 3, I need you guys to play this last Rocket game. All 3 of them nearly played 40 minutes each.
But the reason why they're playing 40 minutes is just, I wouldn't even say it's due to rest. It's actually due to their lack of effort.
Okay.
If the Clippers finish the thing, stop playing with their meal. That's what I'm going to call it. That's what the new thing we're going to call it. Stop playing with your meal. If you take care of your meal early, stop coming out slow. Even Kawhi said at the end of the game, you come out slow, now we fighting tooth and nail to come back into the game.
Yep.
If they don't come out slow, it will be better results on the back end. But since you're coming out slow, right, you're going to have to play those extra minutes because, again, Russ is that leader that can actually bolt himself down and do certain things. Bones can do it too, but Bones haven't played in so long, so he's getting his rhythm within the game. Stop playing with your food. Finish these games out, and you can rest.
And it's going to be key for them to have this rest because we do know that this team, like many other teams, is one injury away from nobody talking about the Clippers, everything being done and being too tough. So that's why when you see them playing 40 minutes or close to it, you can kind of get a little nervous because Paul George already dealt with injuries. You don't want to see Kawhi deal with anything. So like you said, this is the perfect time for Coach Lue to say, hey, Bones, I need you to step up. I need you to give me some productive minutes. Norman Powell, keep balling. He played like nearly 30 minutes, so he's going to get more minutes. You may see a little more PJ. Brandon Boston might find some minutes. I know PJ is not.
You better stop. Because, hey, PJ, I love the shoes. That's all I'm going to say. PJ, I love the shoes.
That's it.
That's just shit. That's it. That's all. But
yeah.
I would say injuries are part of the game. Not saying I'm hoping injuries happen. But, again, it comes down to if they attack the rim, so much of this stuff that we keep repeating ourselves can end.
But maybe they don't attack because they like, I can't get banged up. My team needs me. We're trying to make a push.
No, regardless of getting banged up or not, they have to respect you, right? If I keep driving to the hole, eventually they're going to be afraid that I'm going to keep driving to the hole, which means they're going to play back on me, which opens up the what? Jump shot.
It's true.
So if I keep shooting jumpers, not going to the hole, all I gotta do is like, oh, they're gonna shoot. It's okay. I'll play it from him. He's gonna shoot it anyway. But if I keep going to the hole, it's gonna make your jump shot so much easier. It's gonna make shooters actually look like shooters instead of people trying to shoot in traffic. So that's what they need to do. If you look at teams like, I'm just gonna harp on the OKC Thunder, right? Yeah. What Shea does, Shea puts so much pressure on the defense by what? Continuously driving to the hole, floaters, layups, all this type of stuff. And then what he does once he gets there, he always book it at 31 points per game. Yeah. But once he gets about 18, 20, he starts spreading out, and guess who starts eating it now? Williams, Giddey,
all these other guys.
Chet, everyone starts shooting.
So, speaking of a guy that can do some things like Shea, James Harden. Maybe we should see more of him offensively scoring. He had 21 versus the Rockets, but maybe we might need to see him do a little more because you don't have that Russell Westbrook there who can come in and, you know, give you 15, even 20 if he's making some outside shots. So maybe it's more. Do we need to see more James Harden?
Yeah, of course. James been doing it in the past game. That's why the 21-point lead was what it was in Milwaukee, because he was going to the rim.
Yeah.
When the game was on the line for the Houston Rockets, guess who took over? You know that's Jamestown.
He's in Houston, you know.
Come on, you know.
He probably went to the strip club after the game.
No, he actually posted a picture saying I gotta go. He actually was going home. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so because he's a little bit more mature, but James Harden can definitely put pressure on it. I don't expect Kawhi too much. That's not in Kawhi's DNA, but. So if you're going to shoot jumpers, right, shoot them closer to the rim. Don't shoot free throw line. Shoot them inside.
But see, that's why they miss Russ, because he's a guy that can go to the rack, get not only layups for himself, create for the other bigs and other players. And think about this week coming up, right? This weekend we know they have Chicago, Milwaukee, and then they're going to have the Timberwolves all at home. We be in the building. We know what Russ does to that crowd. Even the baby wall, I'm going to call it, they go crazy for Russ throughout the game. They're not going to have that on the floor. Who is that guy that can give that energy to the crowd, to the fans, since they're going to be playing three home games?
Norman Powell.
Oh, Norman Powell?
Norman Powell. The reason is Norman Powell has a KTLA streak going on where he continuously keeps showing up, but Norman Powell brings that energy. A few games he's been shooting lights out, always shooting late buzzer beaters and doing his thing. So Norman Powell is going to be that guy. I know he might not sound too boisterous or you know, being that persona, but Norman Powell is that guy.
Okay.
And then, like I said, Busy Bone. I'm telling you, Busy. The fans love Busy.
No, yeah.
But
I think the
Busy just got to get Busy just got to get busy.
Gotta
that's
get
all.
busy, yeah.
And like I said, 13 minutes, 6 points. That's sufficient to me.
Yeah,
I
agree.
As it starts to tick up in minutes, we're gonna really see what he's gonna do. And like I said, he's shaking the rust off because beginning of the season, Busy was getting real busy.
No, yeah, I thought he was gonna play a big part, but he traded.
And he still is because now, right? If Russ does come back, I done crafted out another point guard that can bring in another different style of play to the game.
And you always need those guys. So they got the matchups. We know they got Bulls, Milwaukee. Then they have
Timberwolves,
and then the Bulls again before our next show. What do you have the Clippers going these next 4 games? What do you think?
I would say
I'm gonna go 3-1.
I definitely could say 3-1.
Okay.
I'm hoping for 4-0.
Okay.
But I can say 3-1 realistically.
Yeah.
The nail biter, both of these games is matinee games.
Yeah.
But that Sunday game is what stressed me out. Milwaukee at 12.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
But it's Doc Rivers, right?
And they owe Milwaukee. They just got them. No Giannis. They owe them. So it's going to be a great game, and I'm happy we're going to be there to give you all the coverage that you need. But we're not done. Get your popcorn ready. Get your drinks, because we're going to talk about retired jerseys for the Clippers. We got a guy that we think that should be the first Clipper to have his jersey retired, and we're going to discuss it after the break.
Hey everyone, I'm Neko Gumike with the LA Sparks, and you are watching Infanity Television.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chanel Gwimike, and you're watching Infanity Television. Boom.
Shout out Infanity Television. This is Juju Watkins. See y'all.
Welcome back, Clipper Nation. Thank you so much once again for joining myself, Michael Matthew, and our guy, B, right here. And hey, we left the break. We talked about retiring jerseys. Everybody's waiting. Who's going to be the first Clipper to get his jersey retired? I think number one has to be, but this guy didn't play for the Clippers. He played for the Buffalo Braves. It was none other than the legend himself, Bob McAdoo. Can we agree that Bob McAdoo should have his jersey up there?
Yeah, that's automatic. Ain't nobody gonna dispute. That's pretty much automatic.
Pretty much automatic. But now, when it comes to wearing the Clipper jersey, you had guys, prior to the guy I'm going to name. You had Danny Manning, who was the first overall pick in '88 to play there. But I don't know if people really see him as a true Clipper legend. But this guy, Elton Brand, who was the first overall pick to the Chicago Bulls, 1999, was traded a couple years after to the Clippers, gave the Clippers 7 really good years, was a 20-10 guy for his 7th season with the Clippers, 2-time All-Star. For me, he was on one of the only teams when it comes to the Clippers that I was like, man, can they really make a run to win an NBA Finals with the year they had him, Corey Maggette, Sam Cassell, a young Sean Livingston, Chris Kaman, and he was the leader of that team, a guy that was that double-double, walking double-double. What's your thoughts? Should Elton Brand be the first Clippers jersey that's hung ever in the rafters?
Of course.
Okay.
When you think about the Clippers, right, and you go down that list, outside of Danny Manning and Bob McAdoo, who else comes to mind?
Okay.
Right. Everyone says Elton Brand first. Of course, they might yell out like Darius Miles, Corey Maggette, Cuttino Mobley, and all that good stuff, but Elton Brand was the centerpiece for that, right?
Yeah.
An undersized power forward, like you said, a double-double machine. He deserves that. And for his time with the Clippers, because before then the Clippers wasn't really doing nothing. And with Elton Brand, that team went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
Second
round.
And
that was
semifinals.
And that was something when people was the Clippers ain't gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They can't even make the second round. Boom, they go to the second round.
Yeah.
And then that can start the narrative of the Clippers making the playoffs, but always isn't in the second round until most recently they went to the Western Conference. But if you look at that necessarily change of the tide, Elton Brand definitely should be in there.
So for those young Clipper fans, you don't know who Elton Brand is, go and look him up. The guy was a beast. He was a baller. But do you think that should be the first name? Because you got some Clipper people going to be like, nah, you got to put Blake Griffin up there first. Or, maybe if Kawhi wins a championship, maybe you put him up there before you put anybody.
I wouldn't say I want to put Blake up there.
Yeah, Blake has to go up there.
But if I'm going by, necessarily years, the correct years, Blake has to wait his turn.
Okay.
Something like the Hall of Fame, right? You just don't go in
right
away.
Yeah.
Some players got to wait their turn. Some players wait longer than others. Yeah. So when you retire your jersey, this is a Hall of Fame for the organization, not necessarily the Hall of Fame in the NBA. But for the organization, you go in order. You don't hear about, let's see, Tim Duncan. Let's look at the Spurs for a minute. You don't hear about Ginobili and Tony Parker going before Tim Duncan.
No, I agree.
Tim Duncan went first, then Tony and all them. So if we're gonna do
David
it,
Robinson before those guys.
bingo. You don't hear Tim go before David Robinson. So let's go in order. If you're gonna go in order, it has to be Elder Red first, and then we'll start working it down. Then you could probably see like Blake Griffin, and you could probably see DeAndre Jordan. I would go probably Blake, DeAndre, Chris Paul, but it'd probably be somewhere in that order of how all the chips fall.
I think when you look at Elton Brand, like he was one of the underrated guys. Like in that era, like he was really good, especially for the Clippers. 2-time All-Star.
Undersized power forward?
Yeah, undersized guy. Like he was the guy in the 2000s for, I don't know how Clipper fans were birthed, but for you Clipper fans who were birthed out there, like you knew who Elton Brand was because of the damage that he was doing every night, competing with the Shaqs and the Duncans, the Garnetts, the Dirks, and guys like that. And to see him up there in the rafters, you're creating a new everything. You're gonna have the new jerseys, the new logo, the new arena. Why not start giving and paying honor to those guys who set the pace and the tempo for how this team is being able to be pushed forward?
So the Clippers actually did something unique that most people, if you're not really tapped into the fan base, they sent out the email and asked the fans who they want to see, who jersey they want to see retire first.
Oh wow, okay.
And they actually, you can write it in and put your reasoning why behind it. But they're doing a collective correlation of gathering all the information to see what players that the fans actually want to see go up in the rafters versus, we can sit here and debate all day, but as a Clipper fan and Clipper, community, they want to see who you want to go in the rafters. Of course, we know Blake Griffin's going to go up there.
Has to, yeah.
But we're going to really see for those people that you see in the fans, those old, when we go to the game, they've been season ticket holders since the sports arena. We're going to really see who they view as a person that should be retired.
It should be, and it's something that most likely is going to happen sooner than later with the new arena coming like that. But Clipper Nation, you can always chime in and let me and Beef know, what do you guys think? Should Elton Brand be the first Clippers jersey hung in the rafters there at Intuit Dome? Let us know. You can comment below and tell us what's up, Beef.
And I actually got some news too.
Okay.
The Clippers, right? If you don't know necessarily, Bally Sports is having their little network thing, so that should dissolve pretty soon.
Yeah.
But the Clippers actually started a new entertainment thing called Halo Entertainment, which
will
will in correlation have the Clippers, the Ontario Clippers, necessary everything, even with the key forward, everything all in one, their own entertainment thing. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't know, now you know. You're hearing it first here on Full Clips if you wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
but
I love it.
You're seeing how the Clippers are now molding themselves to an organization that's going to be standing on their own.
Yeah.
And as much as you keep saying, hey, how these Clipper fans are, where they're coming from, they're molding the community right now.
Clipper Nation, the courts are everywhere. They're beautiful. So we're talking about jerseys. We don't have too much left. But when it comes to statues, right, I know, are we thinking any statue? Like, what is it going to take for someone to gain a statue for the Clippers? Because we hear the talk, LeBron's doing all these great things for the other team and things like that. And people are arguing, should he have a statue? And a lot of Laker fans saying, no way. But for the Clippers, is the criteria different, or is it something? Because for me, I feel that for statues, that you have to be either a lifer for a team, like a Stockton, who has a statue with Utah, like Dominique Wilkins, who has a statue, and the other persons, or you have to bring multiple championships into a team like the Clippers. If somehow Kawhi, PG, those guys do it, maybe they can deserve it. But what do you think is going to take for a guy to deserve a statue for Clippers?
Well, you pretty much said it, right? The Clippers is a team that doesn't have a championship at all. So whoever brings home that championship will be immortalized as, I would call it Himothy, right? He would be the best Clipper ever to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And that's how you earn a statue. Can other statues be birthed from that? Yes. I would say Ralph Law.
Yeah, he has it, because Chick Hearns has his.
Bingo.
You gotta have
but like I'm saying, first to 100 wins. That's the law.
Yeah.
That could be definitely something that a statue could be out there for broadcasting. So it's multiple avenues we can look at. But I'm just telling you right now, whatever player brings that home, it could be Kawhi, right? once they bring home that championship, that's going to be the first. And then we can start tinking and looking back and say, okay, maybe a Bob McAdoo can go out there. Maybe a Danny Manning. Maybe Elton Brand. But no. Whoever brings that championship home first,
I love it,
can get that statue.
Hey, so you guys, once again, let us know, how does a player earn a statue for a team? And can somebody do it for the Clippers? B said, go win a ring. Damn it, you deserve a statue. But, hey, we thank you guys for giving us your time. I know you enjoy us. Michael B, Full Clip, Clippers Unleashed. Hey, next Friday, it's going to go crazy. I hope you guys are ready for it, baby.
Let's go.